Members of St. Mary's First Nation are feeling under the gun as Election Day draws near due to new voter ID changes. The changes are due to the Fair Elections Act, which states that voter ID must be government-issued and state the voter's address. St. Mary's First Nation Councillor Alan Polches Jr. says some First Nation voters may be confused on Election Day when their ID won't be accepted.
You can get a letter of confirmation of residency and take that down, but if your First Nation is not registered, then that's not going to count.
With the election campaign well underway, parties have taken shots at the Conservative government for the Fair Elections Act, even going as far as to say that it intentionally disenfranchises groups unlikely to vote for the Conservatives.
People to actually come out and vote. He's been very honest and open about it. He doesn't want people from groups who tend not to vote for him to actually come out and vote.
Anthony Peter Paul, a First Nation student at St. Thomas University, thinks the changes aren't needed and just add more barriers for voters.
But now they have to use a secondary form of ID, which makes things a lot more difficult because a lot of First Nations people don't have second forms of ID.
Polches says he's doing everything he can to make sure First Nations people in his community can vote this election.
We are going to have a community barbecue to invite people to come down to make sure they're registered. I'll go right online and see if they're registered. If they're not registered, then we will register them.
Anthony Peter Paul says he's still skeptical of the new voting requirements, but hopes people get out there and vote anyway.
It is going to make it difficult for the First Nations vote to get out there.
In case you're wondering what type of ID is acceptable, you can always check at elections.ca. For the New Brunswick Beacon, I'm David Bardwell.